Let's talk about the best cloud storage solution for real estate professionals. Now, as a real estate and business professional, determining the best storage solution for you can be really challenging. There are countless options out there, ranging from free to paid services. And while the free solutions might be tempting, they often come with some significant risks that can outweigh any potential cost savings. Free options can lead to issues with data breaches. They also have limited storage capacity. And inevitably, at some point, using one of those services, you're going to need some level of support, and the free options generally don't offer anything for you. So, for the purposes of this analysis, we're going to look at the top four paid solutions that have good offerings for businesses of really almost any size. Could be a single sole proprietor business of one, it could be 100, 5 people, 150, 300 people. You get the idea. And these are also good options for enterprises. They could be good for businesses that are much larger as well. But really, what we're looking for is going to what makes sense to me and my small business. Is it going to be focused on cost? Is it also functionality? It kind of depends. That's really where we start with most clients. What matters to you? Are you focused solely on the cost of a product? Is it the features you're looking for? One of the things that we often see that gets missed a little bit is talking about where you're starting from. Cloud storage isn't just about backing up files. I mean, that is critical. You need to be backing up your files because something could happen to your device, and realistically, you can't afford to have that data just disappear. But realistically, there's a lot more functionality there, especially when it comes to sharing. Sharing out, and this is especially true in the real estate world, is critical when you need to get data in front of clients, your team, potential leads and prospects. And so being able to get those files out there easily, controlling that data after it's been shared, that's all really important. You also need to make sure that it's in the right format so that the person who's receiving it can actually open and use that data. These are all really important considerations that may not be easy to tell the difference when you're looking at these applications and you don't work with them every single day. But that's why we're here. So let's get into a little bit more. Now, there's four primary solutions that I think everybody is familiar with. There's Google. Google Drive is part of the Google One or Google Workspace application suite. There's Microsoft OneDrive, that's part of the business M365 tools that they offer. There's Dropbox and there's Box. And when I look at price, I'm looking at all of these on a month to month subscription, not the annual plan. When you look at the annual plans and the discounts they offer, I think it makes it harder to really judge apples to apples. Let's just look at this as if we're paying month to month for these things. And with Microsoft, they don't make that easy, but I'll give you the prices here in just a second. Now, there is a clear differentiation when you look at the pricing for Google and Microsoft versus Dropbox and Box. A lot of this, I believe, comes down to the offerings that Google and Microsoft are packaging along with their cloud storage. Dropbox and Box, like the cloud storage is their bread and butter. This is their primary service offering. And yes, they do offer some other, tie-ins and integrations. Dropbox, for example, has PDF editing and e-signatures as part of their solution, which is great, but they're not the same thing as Microsoft's Office suite of Excel and Outlook and PowerPoint and all those things, and Google's workspace tools like Sheets and Docs and all of that jazz. So you can't really compare these two apples to apples, which I think is also why it's interesting when you look at the pricing for Box and Dropbox. Both of these are quite a bit more expensive. If you're not familiar with the size of storage, we talk about this in terms of gigabytes and terabytes. Yeah, terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, and that's really where a lot of these service plans start. Is at least around a terabyte or 1,000 gigabytes of storage. And when you look at these, there's a pretty big price difference. Box, for example, their 3 terabytes of storage here. No, actually, they are unlimited storage. I take that back. I was thinking of Dropbox as the 2 and 3 terabyte storage. So for a 2 terabyte storage plan, you'll pay $12 a month. And then if you get up into their professional plans for businesses, which is what we're really talking about, that's $20 a month for 3 terabytes. When you compare that to Microsoft, which on a month to month basis, just for cloud storage, is $6 a month, or Google, we'll ignore their 100 gigabyte plan here for $2 because that just doesn't make sense for a business. Their 2 terabyte plan is $10 a month. So there's a fairly big difference in price when you look at these. And again, I think that comes down to Microsoft and Google bundling these services with other tools that add a lot of value. With Box, although they do offer unlimited storage, in general, I have had the most challenges with clients that have used Box. The pricing may seem attractive at first, especially for unlimited storage, but it does get more tricky when you look at the fact that they require minimum numbers of users. So if you've got to have at least 3 licenses in order to choose this plans, you really they also create a lot of challenges if you ever need to get off of Box. It's very expensive. So I know it probably sounds a little bit odd, but I'm going to knock Box completely out of this offering just because I don't recommend them for most clients unless they are already on them, and then I try and help get them off. When it comes to Dropbox, again, there's a pretty significant price difference between these two things. Most of the clients that we work with are already using Google or Microsoft for the other tools that they use, whether it's email or the Office applications, and that organic integration between your office tools and your cloud storage is really important, and it really aids in being easier to use than what I have found with Dropbox. And so although this is not a terrible plan, a terrible price, it's more expensive than the others, I don't generally recommend Dropbox because it is just cloud storage and it doesn't have that native integration with those other tools. And so we look at, where are you starting now? Are you starting in the Google space or in the Microsoft space? Now, when it comes to debating the merits of Google and their platform versus Microsoft Office and OneDrive, you're likely not going to be making that decision based off of the file storage solution. Google Drive is built into the Google Suite, like OneDrive is built into the Microsoft suite of Office tools. And so, if you're considering going from Google to Microsoft Office, it's likely because you want to use the rest of the Microsoft Office suite of tools like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc. And those are more common in the business world. While there are some potential cost savings of choosing one versus the other, we generally do recommend Microsoft as a solution for businesses of all sizes because they have such a broad encompassing suite of software that you get and can really get at a really good price. Now, if you're already very locked into the Google platform, that's fine. You have mobile versions and cloud versions of a documents editor and Excel sheets and those sorts of things. So there are viable solutions on both. It really is going to come down to personal preference. Now, if you want to learn more about these tools, we do have trainings on how to better utilize cloud storage solutions like OneDrive, how to do sharing, how to manage access to files and those sorts of things. And we also provide consultations on which solution is going to be better for your specific business and how to administrate it appropriately. Reach out to us at aniltech.com.
The tools where small and mighty collide. Enterprise grade tech for every stride. Big dog startups, we level the field. Our Neil Tech delivers, our promise is sealed.